This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
I'm feeling good. I'm on the precipice of an exciting life change.
Oh, I thought you were, when you were like, I'm feeling good, you were going to list out a litany of illegal and legal drugs.
I would say this, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the time in history to be doing illegal drugs of unknown origin.
Yes.
That's my PSA.
Hey, good PSA. Don't do illegal drugs.
I've been watching a lot of
if you know
the
where
Max original show, The Pit.
Oh.
And let me tell you, some tragedies happen when you even if you're just a college kid, looking for some Adderall so you could stay up and study.
I mean, that I 100% get that. There's a bunch of crazy stuff out there. You don't want to just take whatever some college kid offers you.
Yeah, and that said, Tom,
especially pills.
I think I do want to go on pills, but like, but like in just like I think maybe if a doctor could prescribe them.
Yeah, I mean, a doctor could prescribe pills to you.
If I could convince a doctor to prescribe me pills, I would take them.
Now, do you have any preference on what these pills do, or you don't really? You just want pills.
I'm one of these self-diagnosed ADHD people.
Oh, okay.
And then I hear people like, now that's like, this is the thing. It's like, this is like 12 years ago when it's like, oh, it turns out gluten was the source of all my problems. And then suddenly everybody's like, well, I got to cut gluten out. It's like, some people do, but you probably, I don't want to say you probably don't, but like, not everybody does.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, I have trouble focusing in this time of unprecedented distraction and everything in the world gearing you towards not being able to focus on anything for even a goddamn second. I guess I need pills.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you could definitely compare even 20 years ago. Like probably the most like focused person nowadays, probably like some monk or something.
Yeah.
They went in a time machine 20 years ago. People be going, hey, over here, pal. Pay
the
attention
monk?
to the monk. He's playing Candy Crush.
Wow.
He's still like pretty good. He's better than us at keeping focus, but know.
Hey, we've all got
he wanted his little dopamine hit of Candy Crush.
Yeah.
I don't know if people really even play Candy Crush anymore.
I don't know. Like, yeah.
I do know.
That kind of stuff is silly. Like
that kind of stuff also, like, I recently had not heard about a game called Monopoly Go. Just a Monopoly app. But then
it's a phone game.
Yeah, a phone game. But they had a commercial and it had I forget who was in it, but it was like multiple big celebrities.
They do this
and
with app commercials. It's like Oscar winners and stuff.
Yeah. And then the next time I ever heard about this game, it was a news article about like the company declared like they've made $4 billion from Monopoly Go this year.
It's like, I'm Daniel Day-Lewis for Bazoingo, and I love Bazoingo.
Yeah.
You crush the
And also
things.
from There Will Be Blood and My Left Foot and a bunch of other films.
Yeah.
Lincoln, where I talk like this?
I never saw Lincoln. I think I should.
Yeah, right? It's a Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
It's got to be good. Daniel
Yeah.
Day-Lewis is always good.
Hey, I like him.
But you're on the precipice of a life change?
Oh, yeah, Tom.
Uh-huh.
I began today assembling a capsule wardrobe.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Avengers.
You wish. You
Yeah,
wish I
that'd
spent the day assembling the Avengers.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
If you were like, I got most of them, but not all of
Aren't
them.
most of them dead at this point?
In the movies, yes.
Yeah.
In the real life, not most of them are dead. Actually, in the movies, 2 of them are dead, I believe.
Okay,
Currently.
I think we're entering spoiler
Yeah.
territory.
Two
here,
out of the 6 original Avengers from the MCU are
Let me guess.
canonically dead.
Let me guess.
Mhm.
Iron Man.
Mhm.
And Captain America. Nope, Captain America went back into.
He's old but alive.
Yeah.
And I think when he dies, we'll hear about it.
On the news?
Yeah, on the news, the newspaper, they'll say, Captain America of Earth 616 died today.
And the other one is, the Black Panther.
Black Widow.
Oh.
Black Panther is dead.
But he wasn't one of the original Avengers.
He was not one of the original Avengers. And I mean, that's also a case where the actor unfortunately passed, so they had to write him out. Although there was a lot of people saying that they didn't have to write him out, that they really should have, like, I mean, that's the thing. It's like the fucking,
we don't need to get into
it's
this.
just that it's the machine of like, well, shit, we got to make a new Black Panther movie this year because that's the way everything's set. We're normal.
That's why
Normally
pencils have erasers, Tom.
Well, normally they would have been, a normal movie studio even would have been like, all right, like let's wait a few years and then we'll see how sentiment is.
The beloved man who played this character passed away. Maybe we just like put a pause on it and do another one of the Ant-Man movies.
Yeah. Well, and it would have been messed up if they just immediately recast him. And it was kind of like after the movie came out and everything, maybe even like a year after the second movie came out, that I saw people, I feel like even some of his family were like, they can recast. They should recast. Like, don't let this character die with him,
Right. Hey, I don't know. I tend to respect people who give their life to a craft.
Like
that made it sound like maybe it was acting that
killed him. Yeah, he didn't die in a
no.
But
what I
accident.
mean is he spent his life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm really putting you on the spot, making you memorialize Chadwick Boseman right now.
I think he seemed like a very good man.
He did seem like a good man. And they also in the MCU, they were like, oh, well, this? He secretly had a son who is also named T'Challa. So eventually there will be a Black Panther named T'Challa again.
Right.
And
cool. I mean, assuming this whole the Marvel thing doesn't fall apart.
It's bigger than ever. The movies have gotten even better.
Everybody loves the new ones more than the original ones.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, this is so cool. I love going to the movie theater and all the scenes I've already seen in a trailer, including the big twist at the end.
A Red Hulk is preferable to me to a Green Hulk, is what everybody's saying.
Well, not even preferable. I think it's just like, that's interesting. I've seen a Green Hulk, but now
what are they,
Red
father
Hulk?
And son?
No, Tim.
Brothers?
Actually closer to father-in-law and son-in-law, if anything.
Yeah.
It's his girlfriend's dad.
Okay.
That turned into the Red Hulk. Bruce Banner's girlfriend, not
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo. But he's never had a scene with her because he used to look like Edward Norton.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Ed Norton from The Honeymooners a lot today.
Yeah, are you? Art Carney.
Yeah, it's a good character. It's just funny that his name was Ed Norton. And now we got an Ed Norton.
We got a real life Ed Norton.
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer?
Art Carney. I like Edward Norton.
Yeah.
I like him in things. He seems probably like an insufferable person to like spend time with.
You know what? He seems better nowadays.
Yeah, I could see that. He maybe mellowed out with age. I mean, he's also like been lucky enough to work with a lot of good people, and I think hasn't I think he probably says no to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like you never see him in like a cheap thing.
I would like to live a life where somebody's like, do you want to work? No, and I go, no, I don't have to.
No, I don't have to. Thank you. I'll wait until something that pays more and is more fun.
Yeah, I want to do something that's fun, and I'll make a lot of money doing it.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be in your like John Wick ripoff.
Yeah.
That seems to get.
Or anything.
Yeah.
If it's like, hey, Tim, do you want to drive a truck? No, I don't want to, and I don't need to.
Right.
Like, I would like that.
Yeah, but what's Edward Norton's thing is probably like, do I get to be Twee in it?
Right. I don't know.
Because he's in all those
Twee.
Wes Anderson movies. I mean, that won't necessarily mean he'll be in it, but he'll think about it if he gets to be Twee in it.
I don't like this. This characterization of Wes Anderson. I think people don't understand Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
He's misunderstood.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't just like symmetry, Tom. in pastel
Well,
colors.
didn't his last movie do like better than any movie he's ever had in the
Asteroid
theaters?
City.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got way back into Asteroid City. I think that movie
Yeah,
is
way back into it.
I watched it again, and then I was just like, man, this movie's really good. And I've just been thinking about it a lot.
I watched it and I liked it. I liked it a lot more than his recent stuff. Like, I like that it was like, if you're going to do the Wes Anderson like aesthetic, like, yeah, go all the way. Make
I
it.
think it's cutesy. That movie is about existential dread and how it's all encompassing.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not saying cutesy. I'm saying more like the production design.
Yeah.
Like, I thought everything looked like everything was built, right?
Yeah.
Like everything was set.
Yeah.
So
that
it
was
looked
cool.
really cool.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, it did look cool, Tom.
All right.
So I think we agree on that.
Yeah. It
Do you know what
sounds
a
like we do.
capsule wardrobe is, Tom?
No, like a time capsule, like you leave it and then somebody digs it up 100 years
so
from now and they go,
dug up a time
look
capsule.
at
It had
what
bell
this
bottoms,
fucking idiot wore.
beads. No, it's this thing where they're just like, tell me your thoughts on this. Where it's like,
I think I know what this is. And
here's what a capsule wardrobe is. It's it's a limited amount of clothes, right? And it's like a set number of shirts, pants, shoes, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is,
they all have to mix and match.
All of it goes with each other. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, well, I've been wearing a capsule wardrobe my whole life.
That was going to be my point. That is going to be like, oh, well, I mean, any shirt technically can be worn with jeans. So there we go.
Yeah.
Any shirt I buy goes with any of the pants I wear and vice versa.
Tom, I've been on these fashion blogs. Mm-hmm. And they're like, and the advice that they give.
Looking for more twee stuff, probably.
Like,
there hasn't been a Wes Anderson movie. I watched the most recent one again, but I still can't get enough.
I just want to like
look at tweed jackets.
No, I want to have like the same clothes, especially in this era of like, nobody gets dressed up for anything except for a wedding and a funeral or a funeral.
Yeah. Well,
like,
and even,
I just want to wear the same clothes all the time, everywhere I go.
Well, I mean, I already talked about how mad I was at the magic show that there were some people that weren't wearing jackets, which they said you had to wear. But you ever notice this guy, Tim? Maybe a couple of years ago, I had like 3 weddings in a row. I had these 3 different women all lined up,
Oh, you were the groom in all of these.
Yeah,
okay.
I had they were all plump as Christmas hens with money.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to take all their money. No, I went to like 3 other people's weddings.
Yeah, I think that's what we all assume.
3 weekends in a row. But you ever see this guy at a wedding too? This guy's usually like at least late 50s, but usually probably like 60s at a wedding just wearing a polo shirt.
Oh my God, I see that guy all the goddamn time.
I saw him at every wedding. And it's like, what are you doing, man? Wear something nicer than that.
But you don't get kicked out.
No, and it's bullshit. Put on a button-down shirt. You must have a button-down shirt. And sometimes I see these guys with their wives, and like their wives are like dressed up. Mm-hmm. And I think like,
are they plump as Christmas hens with money?
Yeah, Tim, because then I know that woman's got a husband. She surely told her husband, you can't wear that to a wedding. At least like put a jacket or a button-down shirt on. He went, ugh. So then I know I can swoop in.
Yeah.
And,
nice. And did you at all these weddings?
I did, Tim. That's why I was at the weddings. I was looking for polo shirt guys.
I never get those guys because it's just like, it's more trouble
to put on a polo shirt.
No, I mean, it's easier to put on a polo shirt.
Easier than a t-shirt. You gotta button a few buttons.
What are you talking? You don't wear a t-shirt. You still gotta button up the whole. And you're getting button-up shirts mixed up with button-down shirts.
What are button-up and button-down?
Button-down is where the collar is buttoned down.
Oh, I see.
That's what that is.
I see.
Button up is you are
putting buttons on it.
Yeah, you're buttoning up. This is what I've learned on the fashion blogs, Tom.
Yeah, boy, I wanted to smack you when you were correcting me there.
I know, but it's your and like look. Granted, I'm not wearing anything from the capsule wardrobe yet.
Yeah.
I just started.
We're both wearing basically identical clothes.
Yeah, as we have been for the last 20 years. Tom.
Yeah.
But things are about to get different.
Wow.
But also all the blogs say like, all right, this is the capsule wardrobe that's going to be like classic for you forever. And it's like, stick to 3 colors.
Yeah. Black, gray, and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And navy blue. So
okay.
it's so black, gray, navy blue, and then you throw white in there as well. And it's like, cool. All my favorite colors to wear. This is great. So I'm just Tom went out and bought a bunch of. You know what I bought today?
What's that?
Quality T-shirts.
Like undershirts or
no,
T-shirts?
T-shirts made of like, not novelty T-shirt fabric.
That's the fabric T-shirts are made. What, you bought something else, Tim? I
bought these good T-shirts, Tom.
A good T-shirt is free. A good T-shirt is free.
Wait until you see this.
Oh, is this one of those shirts they advertise online of like, do you have a beer gut? Wear this shirt that's
I don't get those targeted ads, Tom.
that's fitted weird so people think you're ripped.
This came from Uniqlo.
Okay.
And I had to sign up for the app to get $5 off, but then I paid $14.99 instead of $19.99.
Wow, what a deal. And it's just a solid color T-shirt?
Yeah, gray, navy blue, and then I have a black one.
Yeah, you can't get the white one. You get pit stains in that.
Yeah, I'm going to get pit stains in a second. I'm not going to do any of the white ones. Too much, I'll sweat all over it.
Yeah, you're sweating profusely now when I mention that.
I'm very nervous talking to you.
Tim, this week we're talking about houseplants. Houseplants.
Plants
for the house.
For the house or an apartment.
But not.
Why don't they call them home plants? That way they're not discriminating against people like me who don't live in a house.
It's a good question. I think they do.
At all moments. All day, every day.
It's a good. Yeah, they should change the way everything.
For the way I live my life.
Yeah. I think it's just meant to be like they're plants that can thrive inside of a house, and they can't necessarily make any guarantees about an apartment.
Right. Okay.
That's all it is. Do you remember we used to have, me and you, when we were roommates at one point, we had just plants, outside plants, because we had a backyard.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And do you remember the day I bought like the cheapest weed whacker I could find?
Yeah, I do.
Because we had I feel like we got tricked on that apartment kind of, or because we saw the place, we're like, great, a big empty backyard, fantastic. And then we went to England to do shows. It was probably like Ireland and Scotland too. Mm-hmm. We were gone for a while, I remember. Not a while, but like a week at least.
England and Ireland and Scotland are all the same place, right, Tom?
Tim,
I'll never
people
get this
from those places do not like that.
I know they do not like when I think it's charming.
Well,
to mix all that
you're
stuff
alone
up.
in feeling that it's charming. That's why we had to stop going to some of these countries.
Yeah, sorry, everybody. I was just kidding. I know they're different places. I've been to all of them.
Yeah, multiple times.
Yeah.
But we went to all of them. One of the times we went to all of them, and we came back, and there was like a rainforest in our backyard.
Right.
There had been a lot of rain, and all the plants grew, and I had to go buy a.
And you thought we got like the landlord was somehow. You said you felt like we got hoodwinked?
Yeah, I think they put a bunch of seeds back there in between when we, or maybe a bunch of seeds had fallen earlier in the day.
I think we saw that it was overgrown.
But then it was like crazy overgrown by the time we got it.
It just happens.
Yeah, but I got that weed whacker. Whack the hell out of those weeds.
Hey, life is what happens when you're making other plans, Tom.
Yeah. It was a lot of work, I remember. But it was rewarding. Killing all those plants.
Yeah. Those weren't house plants.
No. But you don't know. Maybe some of them could have been.
But by definition, they could have been, but they were not in a house, so they're not a house plant.
No, but I think a house plant refers to specific varieties of plants.
Ooh, which ones?
Oh, I have a list of the top 5 house plants if you'd like to start there. Oh, great. Tim?
Well, I was trying to call your bluff. You acted like you knew something, and I was like, he doesn't know something.
I know something.
And you didn't know it, but you had it written down.
The number 1 house plant, Monstera. Monstera Deliciosa.
This is not going to go well.
Wait, is that the real? Yeah,
The delicious monster.
Yeah. AKA the Swiss cheese plant.
What?
Yeah.
That's the number one.
I don't know. It's the number one on this list I found. Who keeps track of how many houseplants are getting bought?
I don't know. Probably the people that sell houseplants.
Yeah, but like individual stores, sure, they may know, but not everybody.
I don't know. Maybe when you're putting together a list, you survey those people.
Yeah, but people can make things up. They could lie.
That's probably what they're doing. Throw everybody else off the scent.
The Swiss cheese plant's perforated leaves aren't just decorative. They evolved in Central American rainforests to allow sunlight to reach lower foliage while minimizing hurricane damage.
There's no hurricanes in my house.
While, Tim, despite its delicate appearance, a 2024 study documented a monstera surviving 47 days without water by recycling humidity from its own transpiration. Oh,
That's
no.
like,
are we going to get into like plant stuff that we're going to have to remember from biology?
I don't know. I was not good at biology. But
Osmosis
this is like the human equivalent of staying alive by drinking your own piss.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, just kept drinking that piss till, I guess it died, or maybe 47 days. They were like, no, enough. It's sick. We got to give it more water.
It's very unprofessional of that botanist.
It's perverse just making it drink its own piss like that all the time. But I think that's what defines a house plant, that it's a plant that is like hard to kill. The most popular house plants are hard to kill.
Right.
Tim, how many?
Through neglect.
I mean,
anything is easy to kill. Any plant is easy to kill.
Yeah, not anything.
Well, maybe not a.
Well, maybe
Venus
you've never
flytrap.
seen a movie called Hard to Kill.
No, I meant any plant, Tom.
Oh, any plant.
Not any man. Some men are hard to kill. And women.
Try killing a redwood tree, Tim. I bet you couldn't do it.
I bet I could.
You couldn't do it easily, though.
If you gave me 3 days, I could kill it.
How? And how would you do it in 3 days?
Burn it.
Burn it? I don't think you'd be able to get it to catch.
I would drill holes in it.
Okay.
I'd cut a big hole out of those drilled holes.
Uh-huh.
And put some, gasoline and lighter fluid in there.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say dynamite.
I'd also put some dynamite.
Just put some dynamite. Will take care of it.
Yeah.
I think what you're proposing.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But if I had to.
If it was a life or death situation.
If it was either me or the tree.
Right.
You're going to drill some holes and put some
gasoline in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
Remains to be seen.
The gas. All right. Well, we'll try. We're gonna go to the Sequoia National Forest and figure out once and for all.
When you said the redwood, I forgot how big redwood trees can be.
Have you ever seen one in real life?
Yeah.
IRL up close?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're huge.
They're huge. I drove a car through one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
And you think just putting some gasoline in a hole's going to take care of it?
I know.
You couldn't even kill one with a car. You drove a car through it, and it was still fine.
I think that's what it was. Or you walked through it. I don't remember.
I've seen pictures of what you're talking about. Yeah. But
the mighty redwood is what I'm talking about. Not a houseplant, by the way.
No. In fact,
so we should go to jail for talking about it on this episode.
It's considered cruel to keep them in a house, I've read. Oh, man, we're not even getting into bonsai trees.
Bonsai?
Yeah, bonsai trees.
Bonsai.
Well, you're American, Tim. I say bonsai.
Oh, you're Japanese?
I'm turning Japanese. Is that song okay still?
I don't think so, no. That's why I grumbled after you said it.
I feel like bonsai trees were a big thing. I guess it was because of Karate Kid.
I don't think it was because of Karate Kid. That's where you learned about it as a child.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't hear about him as much anymore. I feel like...
Because you don't watch the Karate Kid all that often.
Yeah, but I feel like...
I don't know if you do. People watched that Cobra Kai show.
People love that Cobra Kai show. Yeah. And then at the movie theater, they had a trailer for a new Karate Kid that has has
Jaden Smith that came out.
No, doesn't have him, but has Jackie Chan, who plays his mentor,
right.
but with the other Karate Kid guys.
Can I say something?
So it's like a combo thing.
Can I say something controversial?
Oh, no. Is it going to be you don't like Jaden Smith? You don't think he's very talented?
No, I mean, no, I would never say that about him. I don't think Jackie Chan should be in movies anymore.
Too old?
I just want to see him.
Yeah, he's not bringing much to the table now.
Yeah, and I understand because he's older.
Yeah.
And like, look, I don't want to say that, but it's also, it just makes me sad to be like, oh, just do something wacky. It's like, if you tried that, it might kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, he can still do 90% of anything physical better than I can and ever have been able to do.
I don't know. He's got a lot of injuries at this point.
Yeah.
I think there probably are certain ways he can't bend anymore.
Well, I don't know. I think we'll have to bend him ourselves.
But I agree. I agree with you. Like, I kind of feel like
people shouldn't get old. And if they do get old, they should hide themselves from me.
Well, I feel like, I mean, this is 100% a legit thing that, like, a lot of actresses, when they get older, it's like, there aren't parts for you anymore because you're not good looking.
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
No, but I was going to say...
Because you're not good looking. That's not...
Well,
that's not part
not
of
that,
it.
because you got older.
Okay.
They
don't
too
write
old.
parts for women over the age of, what do they say, 40?
Yeah.
It's really kind of like 36.
Yeah. And those roles for 36-year-olds are like grandmothers.
Yeah. You're going to be I don't know.
You're 36. You're going to be Tom Holland's mom.
You're going to be Jack Lemmon's girlfriend.
Tim, they don't put Jack Lemmon in movies anymore.
Yeah, they do.
But I feel like sometimes I hear people complain about like the parts went away when my looks went away. And it's people that's like, oh, yeah, you didn't have any other talent like that.
No, Tom,
and
I was right. This is...
No, because there are some people that it's like...
completely disagree with.
That's all they do is like rely on their looks. And it's like, you should have been, cultivating other, give us a little... I don't know, comedy, a little singing, something.
I don't. Maybe the parts weren't there to show off.
I'm not discounting that. I'm not saying that this is the case with all people. I'm saying
I'm gonna regret saying
once in a
this.
while I hear somebody say something like that, and it's
I'm gonna regret saying this. Name one name.
No, I'm not gonna name a name. I can't remember specific things.
Okay,
but. Maybe actresses is unfair.
Name one actress, in your opinion, that aged out of roles but didn't deserve roles because she wasn't talented and she only had roles because she was pretty.
No, I bet a lot of those people aren't working nowadays.
Yeah, the point is none of them are.
Yeah. Well, but I'm saying I was going to correct myself. I was going to correct myself and say maybe it's not fair to say that about actresses, but I feel like I've heard models say that they're like, oh, like, and then I turned 35 and they threw me away. And it's like, right, what do you think happened to a 35-year-old before you?
Yeah.
Like, that's the way this disgusting industry works. It's not right. It's not fair, but like,
But am I still tuning into the Victoria's Secret fashion show every year?
Of course.
Bet your ass.
Yeah. I upgrade to cable internet just to watch that.
I don't know what that
at a higher bit rate.
This is some
Because
sort of...
no, I feel like when that was a thing, it was like a lot of people still had like dial-up modems. It was like, oh, look at this.
They put it on CBS, Tom.
But I think before that they streamed it online. I just remember one year it's streaming online. People being like, it was streaming at like 100 pixels wide by 100 pixels tall.
Tom, again, this is very specific to you and your experiences. You think these are like universe? Of course, we know about bonsai trees because of the Karate Kid. Well, of course, we only know about Victoria's Secret because we upgraded our internet to watch a live stream in 1997.
No, I was gonna thank you for bringing bonsai trees up again, because I was gonna say I think what it is that like malls during the 90s led me to believe like bonsai trees would be something a lot more people keep in their homes.
Yeah, I almost bought one fairly recently.
Really?
Yeah,
I've always wanted to have one. They seem cool as hell.
Yeah.
But you'd always see they'd have the kiosks. Some malls would have straight up bonsai tree stores you could go inside.
Yeah.
And they'd have so many cool bonsai trees and a bunch of signs saying, don't touch the trees.
Right.
And you could buy them. I'm shocked. I worked in a mall for years. I'm shocked I never, on my way home for the night, went, what the hell? I'm going to pick up a bonsai tree.
I was, the reason I didn't get it is like, I'm going to screw this up. Like, I'm going to get like real, like, oh, I know what I'll do.
Because you have to like prune it, you know, with the little shears.
Yeah, which is supposed to be like meditative in a way, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that.
It's supposed to be meditative, but then when I like see video of people doing that, it's like, well, how long could that possibly take? And how often could you possibly have to do that?
I mean, I don't think you know the answer to that.
Yeah, I should ask the guy running the bonsai kiosk.
No, he'll tell you what you want to hear.
Oh, it's easy. Man, I bet I'm thinking about those guys too. All the guys around the kiosks, they were real shady guys, real shady characters.
The bonsai tree kiosks.
No, mostly there was a booth selling like lotion, and they were very aggressive.
They were trying to put the lotion on you.
Yeah,
yeah.
And they would come up to you like 20 feet away from the kiosk. You would not have any idea they were associated with the kiosk, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, can I show you something?" You'd be like, "Huh? Oh, what?"
I like to see things.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Wait, is there an emergency?
Yeah. And next thing you know, you're buying $20 worth of lotion just to get out of there.
Can I postulate something, Tom?
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody's like, smartphones. They cause the downfall of our society.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if that's it. I think it's smartphone cases.
Okay.
Has just led to like the junkification of society
because there are so many junky cases.
It's just like I think of mall kiosks. I just think of like stores that sell like kiosks that just sell like cell phone cases, and then just that whole like economy of like crappy accessories for cell phones. It's just like
of things
that's what fucking life is now.
Yeah,
it's just a bunch
things
of
that
goddamn...
cost like 7 cents of plastic to make, and they've got 1 million of them in every color and shape and style,
and everybody
and
of all ages buys them.
Yeah, but also it's like these things are so cheap that if we have to throw 10 out for every one we sell, that's fine. The margins are there, and that's why they're like cheap and junky.
Yeah, stinks.
Yeah.
That's why all the malls closed, because it's depressing buying the
It is, and especially
case.
you walk by like one of those places with cell phone cases, and like the cases they've got out are for like iPhone 5, and you're like, oh God, there's like all this shit's like old too.
Yeah, and it's just like also something that like should just come with the phone, and like the manufacturer should just be like, hey, these are so cheap, and like when that's, you know, when that is no longer useful, like come in and we'll give you a free new one because who gives a shit. Right?
There's a lot of companies that aren't Apple and Samsung actually do give you a case. Well, I think too, if you get like some, you know, random manufacturer's phone, you can't reliably find a case for it, at least not like early days, especially, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But like I see unboxings for like Chinese high-end new phones, and it's like, and look, it like they're taking everything out and these ones come with a case, and it's like, oh yeah, because that's also probably like a weird, hard to find phone. Makes a lot of sense. Anyway, houseplants. I talked about the Monstera Deliciosa. Tim, how many houseplants do you have in your house?
Let's see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, between either 5 or 6, I think.
Oh, okay.
In various windows throughout my apartment, and one up on a shelf that does not get much light.
In various windows, so sometimes it's like, all right, this plant's out, new plant in. Windows of time, I assume you mean.
No, physical windows facing.
Hey, plants love that.
You wouldn't think it, Tom, but my apartment gets some pretty good light.
No, I've seen, your apartment gets pretty good light. Is it like south facing or something? Is that why?
East.
Yeah, that's where the sun rises.
Well, east and south.
Yeah, southeast. Yeah, I think my apartment's facing northwest, and I don't get anything. I live in the darkness.
Yeah.
I asked my wife how many plants we have, which felt like doing a book report, like a school report. It's like,
you remember those reports where you had to like interview your mom about something? Yeah.
That's exactly what it felt like. I was like, me and Tim are doing a project about houseplants this week. How many houseplants do we have? And do you like them? What do you have to do to take care of them?
She should be, you two should be doing this episode without me.
Well,
I could be taking a nap on the couch right now.
It'd be going over my head, all this plant talk. The number of houseplants we have in our apartment, Tim, has been estimated to me 15 to 20.
Okay.
We have a lot of plants.
Yeah. It also occurs to me you could do one walk around your apartment and just
count them all.
Yeah. And I'm not putting that on Laura. I think that's if you wanted to know that, you could have taken probably a minute and 15 seconds and done that.
Yeah, but there are like a lot of I'm looking like that plant there, like that's a little guy that might have snuck past me.
Well, you're seeing it now.
Yeah, I guess I could have just kept my eyes out when I was counting them. I wish I had, because I'm curious how accurate the count was.
This is when I wish we had wireless handheld mics.
Right.
So we could just go do it.
Yeah, because imagine how good a radio that would make. Two men walking around counting plants.
Well, not as good as two men talking about potentially doing that.
So yeah, we've got a lot of plants. She rescues a lot of plants,
right?
Like
from the clutches of
the evil people. She breaks into a lot of places and frees plants that she says are abused,
not being cared for. She's like
only
that
I can care for them correctly.
That watered that plant after 47 days.
Yeah, or like a proto poison ivy that cares more about plants than people.
Do you think your wife cares more about plants than you? Do you think your wife cares more about your dog than you?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's fine. That's understandable. But she, like I've mentioned before, in our apartment building, people frequently leave things that they don't want, but that are like still decent in the lobby. And people leave plants down there a lot.
That's where your wife found you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unwanted, but decent.
Decent fixer-upper. So she's nursed like multiple plants like back to health that people have given away, presumably because they just couldn't take care of them. But like we have a freaking tree in our apartment right now, and I don't know if this thing's actively dying or not.
She's one of the few people in New York that I've encountered that's capable of keeping houseplants alive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Like she can even nurse them back from the brink of death. Not all the time. Sometimes they're too far gone, but for the most part.
In our home, like they just die and recycle it.
Yeah, well, she's got like Tim. There's like a bag of soil in that closet behind you, and she'll like lay out tarps and resoil things.
That's what really bothers me. Having a bag of soil in my apartment.
Oh, so
natural.
You do have a bag.
Yeah,
it's not natural.
I'm bringing dirt into why?
We're trying to keep dirt out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta take my shoes off, but you're allowed to bring in a whole bag of fucking dirt?
Yeah, sometimes when she's like replanting, she cleans it all up, of course, but like dirt gets everywhere, and it's like, oh boy. This dirt was happy outside before. Do you like having plants in your apartment?
Yeah, I didn't think it made much of a difference.
Yeah.
But there was a little bit of a period right after our child was born and all of our plants died because we were focused on keeping a child
him alive.
And it's like, do we not replace them? And it's like, it's kind of like depressing with that. It's nice. It's so nice having something living and green and thriving.
That's what I never had plants in my apartment until my wife moved in here. And like I give her shit for it, for like how many plants and how, all that. But I genuinely do like it. It genuinely does. And now that
well, maybe you should be nicer to your wife then. Like in general.
I'm Tim,
not even about the plants, Tom.
Tim, they say the first year of marriage, you gotta grill them. You gotta keep it.
It's a stress test.
Yeah, you gotta set the expectations. You gotta make things as bad as they could possibly be, so that people know. Okay,
and it's easy to pull back from that at that point.
Exactly, but amping up 20 years from now or something, that's gonna be tricky. Yeah, so I like having all the plants around, and now I do notice when I go to like people's private residences, I will notice if they don't have any plants, I think.
And are you like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, were you an idiot? I've always had plants.
I've always loved and revered plants.
Do you know about this stuff about plants that can talk to each other?
Yeah, Tom, have you ever read the book The Overstory?
No.
By Richard Powers?
I've watched the cartoon Underdog.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. You should read it.
What's it called? The Overseer? The Overdog.
The Overstory. You got Underdog on the brain.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of that is about
and now the book's about Underdog.
trees communicating with each other.
Oh yeah.
And it's Tom, it might be, I don't know. It's one of my favorite books I've ever read.
Wow.
Not much to do with this. I mean, it's about trees, which are plants, and we're talking about
has
plants.
like a lot of the stuff they talk about, like gossip and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's like, oh man,
Cat calls. Look at the leaves on that one.
Yeah. It's problematic what they say to each other. But what is it? It's explain to me how houseplants.
So we know some of it, but like some of it we're not even really 100% sure how they're doing it. Plants release airborne chemicals when stressed to warn neighbors. We know that like they release a chemical, other plants can sense that chemical and react accordingly, I guess. Roots chat, quote unquote, via underground chemical signals. So they'll tell each other about like droughts and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I learned all this from the Overstory.
Okay. Well, why didn't you say any of it?
Because I didn't think I thought it would be houseplant specific. What you were going to be saying?
Well, in this case, it's roots. It could be they could talk in a house. You got two plants in the same thing. They're going to talk
in the same pod. Yeah.
But it does make sense that like, oh yeah, trees. Because sometimes some of this like stuff about plants communicating comes out. And it sounds like phooey, you know?
Yeah.
It sounds like silly. But then you think about things like, well, the ability to signal to other plants, like, shit, man, there's no water. Like, hey, the water you have, like, conserve it. Be careful, right? Process it differently than you normally would. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they're living beings.
Yeah.
They can talk. They can speak English.
A 2024 study, and I don't have more info about this, so don't ask.
Thank you for prefacing it.
Caught plants sending SOS signals on video using fluorescent sensors. So somehow they were signaling to each other using fluorescent light? Yeah, who knows?
I'm not going to ask it. I'm not going to ask because you don't know.
But what about this? This is very common, not even belief proven, that talking to houseplants is good for them.
Yeah, and they all say that it's the carbon dioxide that you're.
Well, that's what skeptics will say, that it's the CO2 that's boosting growth as it comes out. Well, there's also a vibration theory that sound waves may stimulate root growth, and it's like, yeah, maybe, but how much? How much are the roots vibrating from a human speaking?
And it's like, if that's going to help, talking to it for 30 minutes or giving it a good shake for 30 seconds.
Yeah, just give it a good shake.
Shake up the roots a lot more.
There was a study by the Royal Horticultural Society.
Well, those fucking guys.
That showed tomato plants grew taller when read to, especially by women. So not pretty enough to be in movies, but maybe good enough to get a taller tomato plant. Get a tomato plant to grow a couple inches.
Do you think they're just like trying to impress the lady?
Yeah, probably.
Look how tall I am. Now do you love me?
Yeah, I assume it's usually some kind of unrequited love situation.
Sometimes it's requited, Tom.
Yeah. Well,
sometimes the lady puts down the book
and falls in love with the tomato plant.
Falls in love with the tomato plant.
Yes.
You ever see a movie about that, Tom?
I mean, isn't that kind of what Little Shop of Horrors about?
No. The plant eats people.
Yeah, I guess nobody
falls in love with the plant. It eats a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, Seymour. Well, I guess Seymour's more afraid of it than anything.
Yeah, first he's supportive of it.
Yeah. It's called enabling.
Man, that's a good movie.
This is a good movie. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Good
songs in that musical.
Yeah.
Is that still on Broadway? The Great White Way?
I don't believe it's still on Broadway.
When I feel like it gets revived every once in a while, and I'm like, I should go to that, and then I don't.
I remember our high school did like a version of it when we were kids, I think. And I remember going to it. Yeah. And like I remember as a kid thinking like, this is sick. Like
I remember who played the
and
various roles too.
Wow. A real Broadway junkie.
The lead of Little Shop of Horrors is now a personality.
Oh yeah, I know who that is. Yeah, I don't know if you want to say that.
It doesn't matter. It's not going to mean anything to anybody. Tom, do you know about the houseplants reducing stress levels of
people?
Of people.
That's why I think it's nice having them.
Yeah, it's soothing.
Mm-hmm. Is it? I mean, are there people that think that's just because of like oxygen? That like, they're producing oxygen and that boosts, oxygen makes you feel good.
I think it's
relaxes you.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with caring for the plants. If you're caring for the plant, right? Like, working with them can reduce physiological and psychological stress. Just to have.
I feel like I've heard about this, like where they've done maybe not even like trials. Maybe it just depends on the prison, but like prisons that allow houseplants and like, that's good for somebody's mental health while they're in prison because they're like caring for something alive. But, low stakes. Yeah. Low stakes alive.
And I just want to tell you something, Tom. You hear about what they're doing in hospitals with these plants?
What are they doing?
A 2002 review, the research of some research they did, revealed that people recuperating from several different types of surgery needed less pain medication than people who had plants in the room.
So they were.
If you had plants in the room,
you didn't need as much medication,
and your hospital stay was shorter.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great, and like that's the kind of thing. I feel like this is the thing about plants in general, Tim. Hard to nail down.
Yeah.
That it like I don't think there's one thing you can point to as being a good thing about plants. That's not like, it's releasing a chemical or it's the green, our eyes are tuned to see green and we like it.
They're pleasant to look at, Tom. Mm-hmm. It's beneficial to have something to care for.
Yeah.
They're sexy as hell.
Yeah, some of them.
Some of them smell nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of them do smell. Some of them smell bad.
Yeah.
Skunkweed. Well, you don't keep that as a houseplant.
You know
usually.
Who we should have gotten for this episode, Tom?
Who?
Wildman Steve.
Oh, Wildman Steve Brill?
Yeah.
This was a guy that he was awesome. He would come to our high school.
Yeah.
And grade school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
it was sanctioned by the administration.
Yeah, because I remember I remember when he like showed up in high school, it was like, oh, sick. Like we still get Wild Man Steve. There was this guy.
And now it's weed.
Yeah. There was this guy. He was basically just like a very knowledgeable hippie that they sent to our school, I don't know, once or twice a year. Sometimes it was shitty. So like sometimes it was just like an assembly and he would just kind of talk about stuff. But the best ones were like, we're all going to go outside today with Wild Man Steve and we're going to go walk in the woods behind the school.
Yeah.
And he's going to show you like a bunch of crazy shit that like you don't know about.
You know what was weird about our school in like the 90s? Like our, middle or what it was the grade school, but it was like essentially an elementary school, right? Like
yes, it was like late 80s, early 90s. Yeah.
But like they were just like, hey, come into the woods behind the school that we all know you're going to go to after school. And like, we sanction that too.
Yeah.
Like we think that's a good idea. And this old hippie's going to show you around.
Well,
he's going to show you the things that you can eat. Mm-hmm. And then third grader after school, just go wander into the woods. We think that's a good idea. Well, and maybe try eating some of the stuff that old hippie told you could eat.
Well, that was the problem. Like, I remember that happened one year and they were like upset about it. And I just remember even as a kid thinking like, well, what the fuck did you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
And why is it a bet? Why'd you have this guy show us what we can eat if then you don't want us to go eat it?
Yeah.
Why'd he show it to us then? I'd rather be ignorant of the natural world. Thank you very much. But yeah, there were rumors that he sold kids weed.
Yeah.
I mean, I like kind of doubt it. You know what I mean?
I don't think I think that's like he's an old hippie.
Yeah.
And he talks about plants and nature all the time. Of course, some kid's going to be like, hey, in his sick little mind would be like, hey, I bet I can convince everybody that he's selling the kids God's herb.
Yeah. It's probably like a kid asked him, like, probably like the most basic, like, I heard you can grow some plants in water. And he was like, oh, hydroponics. Yes, that is. Yeah. And he's probably like, oh, dude, he knows. He totally knows. He's totally. And it's like, yeah, I'm sure that guy's got a basement full of fucking plants growing, but I don't think he was selling them to the kids.
No.
I saw him years later on Channel 11 News. He had gotten arrested for having tours in Central Park along the same lines.
Oh, yeah.
Of like, he took people through Central Park and showed them like what you can eat in Central Park. And I'm not just talking about the ice cream stands.
Well, whatever happened to freedom of speech? Why can't he do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, you know what it is? I think you're not allowed to eat anything in the park.
Or you're not allowed to like rip up the plants.
Yeah. But hey, if you can eat them while they're still growing, maybe that's okay. Just you can't pull them off, but you can just.
You got to wait for them to naturally fall off with your mouth open under them.
Yeah. You can't even catch it. That doesn't count.
No.
If you catch it, put it on the ground. That was falling. So yeah, I don't know where Wild Man Steve.
He was on the public access channel one time.
Yeah.
And I called in.
Yeah.
And I like fabricated a thing about like, oh, I found a plant and this is what, just because I wanted my voice to be on TV. And he's like, what you got there is like a skunk weed. And I was like, yeah, it did smell weird.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, thanks for the call.
I mean, in retrospect, though, Tim had launched this podcast.
It did.
People say, I want to hear more of that voice.
The overwhelming response to me calling into the public access channel to ask Wildman Steve an obviously fake question.
Yeah.
Just caused such an uproar. People demanded more.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I don't have Wildman Steve, but I got the next best thing. Tom.
Yeah, I have a book about like identifying mushrooms in the forest, and like what's edible and what's not. But I don't know if I'd ever trust it.
Yeah. I would trust the book. I wouldn't trust you or me, Frank, or anybody really.
Yeah.
To
identify
interpret
correctly.
the book correctly. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the book's got a lot of pictures and stuff, but I think I'd still be like,
A lot of books have a lot of pictures.
A lot of books have a lot of pictures, and also I think most mushrooms look the same except for like wacky ones.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I'd like to. I'd love to. I grew edible, not like...
I ate a mushroom and I grew twice the size. Yeah.
I grew.
Then I ate a flower and I was able to throw fireballs. At
You should have brought this up earlier in the... was that a houseplant, that flower that you touched?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came right. I hit a block. And bloop, 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 bloop.
Wow.
Like, man,
That's unbelievable to hear. Yeah.
Believe it.
That made me completely lose my train of thought, but yeah, plants. There's also, Tim, see, that I was gonna say, like, yeah, there's, the basics, like, this is how plants work, but there's like crazier things about plants that imply we might not know everything about exactly how they work, how they function, and like their level of consciousness. Because there was a study.
Plants conscious?
Yeah.
Conscious?
Conscious
Let me
plants.
take it again. Plants conscious?
Yeah. Well, some people, some people believe, it's a religious belief that like everything has a consciousness. But there are a lot of people, it seems like an increasing amount.
It's more than a religious belief, Tom. It's science.
Well, I was going to say that there's an increasing amount of people that think, like, yes, it might not look like our consciousness, but plants do have something that is similar to consciousness. But then
it's a cute thing to like go up to vegans and be like, "Oh, plants are alive, so we can't eat those." I think we should do that more often.
Is that why you've been hanging outside that vegan cafe, just trying to harass them? Yeah.
Oh, you really think you didn't kill any living things?
That's what I think. People always talk about like how much people hate vegans or are annoyed by vegans. And I think a really underheard from demographic is how much vegetarians dislike vegans because they get lumped in with them.
I have no hate for vegans.
I'm not saying hate, but I
hate that, like, oh, a vegan will tell you. It's like, yeah, because they have a dietary restriction.
Yeah. Oh boy, if you're waiting tables and you've got a vegan, they'll tell you.
Or if you bring something to a potluck, they're gonna ask you if there's meat or dairy in it.
I think that's what, like, I've seen with my wife, that people think, like, I don't know, a lot of people think vegetarian is vegan and are immediately like, oh, there's like a ton of restrictions. And then she has to be like, no. It's just like beef, chicken, pork, and fish I do not eat. Mm-hmm. Like that's, yeah, I mentioned chicken. She eats turkey. Poultry. Like that's it. Like you don't have to get into the minutia of like, well, is it an animal byproduct? Right. Is it made by an animal? Because then people are surprised to hear like, oh, vegans won't eat honey because it's made by an animal.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the whole there's two things that I think people say like all the time. It's like, oh, a vegan, you're always going to hear that. Or like everybody. Yeah. And then the other thing, it's like people don't shut up about, oh, I rescued my dog. And it's like, nobody actually does that. It's like, I got my dog from a rescue.
I've met people that look, Tim.
Cool. I met people who were assholes in a number of different ways.
I was going to say, as a dog owner, I think it's fine to shit on dog owners. There are a lot of awful dog owners. Oh, no,
I hate no offense to you and your wife, I hate every single dog owner in New York City.
No, nothing will make you hate dog owners more than having a dog and like meeting other people that are just in a million different ways annoying about their dog.
I just don't like that we let them piss everywhere.
I don't like that. I see people bring their dogs, and not a service animal, bring their dogs into the supermarket. And it's like, you're not allowed to bring your dog in the supermarket. Like, nobody's going to say anything to you because, honestly, none of them are paid well enough to be acting like a bouncer here.
I go to grocery stores where they
don't
pay
allow
their staff a fair wage, so they do keep
they do yell at people if they break the rules. I don't know, but I see that, I'm like, who the hell do you think you are? Like, why do you think you're allowed to bring your dog in?
That, and we let them piss everywhere.
Yeah, and we let them piss everywhere. It could go piss in there.
It's like, I understand, like, it's one thing, and like the dog poops and they don't clean it up.
Yeah.
But like, it's okay. We all agree. I wasn't around for the vote where it's like, no, if it's okay for them to just piss in the middle of the sidewalk.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have Ginger pee on the sidewalk.
Just kidding.
But
I think it's good that this happens.
But at the same time, she has done it a couple of times where I'm like, oh, God damn it. Like right there, that's where you had to do it. Like, but
right on my new Bruno Magli shoes.
I got these because OJ said they were so good. No, but I get that because I see dog piss all over the place, and I'm like, yeah, there are better places. People let their dogs just like piss on cars.
Yeah. I think you should be able to. I think people should be able to piss on cars.
I mean,
just
I
don't
really
piss on the handles. Who cares?
I mean, I don't really care.
If you're touching a car anywhere else, what are you doing? Stop touching cars. Yeah.
Tim, if people like the show, they can find out more at tcgte.com. They can find our social media links there, links to our subreddit, our Discord, and our Patreon. Patreon.com/complete guide, where we do a bonus episode every goddamn week. Whether you want it or not, you get it.
Is the Patreon better than this show?
I think the Patreon's better than this show.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I mean, I don't know. I was gonna say it's a little bit more freewheeling, but I don't know how much we all learned about houseplants today.
I think if anything, the Patreon tends to be more on topic.
Yeah. Well, this week it's the gauntlet.
Yeah, we're running.
Speaking of topics,
yeah, we're running through a bunch of topics. Our Patreon listeners and nobody else got to suggest a bunch of topics to us, and we're gonna go through them.
We're going to see which ones are going to become episode topics.
Yeah. Patreon.com/complete guide if you want to listen to that and maybe get a sneak peek into the future.
What do you mean?
Of topics.
Oh, okay. I see.
You thought I was going to tell them about the machine we've been building.
Tom, that's for patrons only.
Tim, they did this study with plants where they hooked up a plant to a polygraph test. And then they had the plant's owner think about setting the plant on fire, and the plant started freaking out. Yeah. So plants might be able to read our thoughts.
Is this a Richard Matheson story?
No, this is a real story that they did. A real thing they did.
Why didn't you lead with this?
I'm saving it for the very end so people start to learn.
Yeah.
Hey, the good stuff's at the end. Also, I don't have very much more information about it.
Well, I hope it wasn't a Venus flytrap.
Yeah.
Because then I'd be afraid.
Did you ever have a Venus flytrap as a kid?
No, terrifying.
Really?
Yeah, I was afraid of Little Shop of Horrors. There's a Little Shop of Horrors was another thing. That movie creeped me out.
Yeah.
But not because of the plant. I knew the plant was like the big joke, right? Like it's fine.
Big joke.
But like I know like a plant.
Yeah.
But the Steve Martin character,
some version of
the Steve Martin character is very vicious.
Yeah.
And like
bad dentist.
Yeah, and he beats up Audrey, like his girlfriend. And like that just like freaked me out. And it's also like kind of played for laughs in the movie.
Yeah.
And like that like always like didn't, and I was always creeped out.
But it's like
and then everybody's
setting
like,
up you not feeling bad when he gets eaten.
Yeah, but it also was like the viciousness of that at like 6 years old or whatever when I saw it.
You just knew you didn't like it.
Yeah, and like, you know, it was like, oh, Timmy's afraid of Little Shop of Horrors. I was like, no, I'm not. I know the plant is fake. It's not, you know, it's a puppet. It's a Henson creation.
Let me. If you came back here next week, Tim, and I had a present for you, and it was a Venus flytrap, how would you react?
All right, I'm not even gonna contemplate that.
I'm not even gonna contemplate something so terrifying. All right, we'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.